Okay, it's recording. Cool. Um, let me see. Let me put up chat again over here. Okay. So let's start off with the market of SPI. Also, I mean, anyone who's new, who's barely coming in, or who's a new trader, who was even knows about this, just know that so far the market is pretty much bullish in an uptrend. Daily is looking to to continue. As you can see, it has done it to where it's been stuck in the overbought for quite some time, and then he's done it many times before. So what I'm saying is, if this is the start, this could be the start of a just pretty much of a continuation into an uptrend. So long story short is, the reason I'm saying is it could do it is because if you look at the weekly, we're gonna notice here on the weekly that the weekly is bullish. And as I was mentioning many times before, is that as long as weekly stays bullish, which is K respecting D. K is the price of orange. D is pretty much this like a volume support resistance. It's how you want to kind of use it. If it's downtrending, it's gonna use K is gonna use D as resistant. If it's going up, K is gonna use D as support. So what I'm saying is, it's based on what it's been doing, or how it's recovering based on this momentum, like pretty much how you see it now. Sorry, I switched it up. It's going up, it's respecting, D. Okay, it's price action. If action, I mean, if it pushes one day and it goes back down to test D, that is going to be price action pushing up and price action selling and coming into D, which is, usually an uptrend. So if it's uptrending in momentum, it should be uptrending in price action. If you are risking usually these little bounces here, which is higher lows in momentum, that will be your risk in also the momentum in your price action in the candles here. So what I'm saying is, overall risks potential is usually the momentum, and price action, it's pretty much where the price should be at, or where it should be your higher low, to potentially know that it should continue upwards or it should hold a higher low based on the price action of the Fed. So I do use RSI and I do use ANC here and there, especially because it benefits me if they're both uptrending into where my in my favor. So what I'm saying is, if it comes into an oversold and Festo does the same thing, AMC does the same thing, that is a good perspective, because you have to put it in mind that if you're basing the momentum on Fetso, and many members come in and they don't know what the Fetso is, and many new members are, that if I were to go into a Facebook chat or anything specifically, you're going to understand that they don't even know what the Fetso is. Then it's rarely anyone knows what the Fetso is. They usually base the RSI because it's well known by many. It's also the AMC is known by many, but not many by Fetso. But that's what makes the Fetso what it is, because it's less manipulated based on the on how many people know. The more people knows, the harder manipulation is going to be, which is you'll have hard indications, which, as you can see here, it stayed in the middle, and this one was a oversold reset dip. This one came all the way to the bottom of a reset previous dip opportunity, which would have been its oversold of 278 in SPI as previous, history, if you would be attacking this ticker in a weekly dip. So, for example, if you were depending on the RSI or the AMC, you would have probably think that the RSI needed to come all the way down for you to dip, while the FEDS will give you the opportunity to potentially give you that dip opportunity for you to dip instead of waiting for the RSI. So what I'm saying is, many times, like I said, the RSI does the same thing. It comes to an oversold, and guess what the FEDSO does? It comes to an oversold. FEDSO and RSI will not act the same. Sometimes RSI is going to stay in space, which is going to be between in the middle space, while the FEDSO is going to give you reset dips, and it's going to give you the heat runs, which is going to be the up times. And sometimes FEDSO is going to be stuck. Like, for example, this one, it was a nice heat run. And guess what happened? Comes back down. And guess what happens? Surprise. Price goes to 356, drops out to 347. That was a dip that I was potentially calling, saying that it should be holding 325 and should be coming back up and rerun the 356 again. And that's exactly what it did. Momentum come to reset in the weekly. Weekly is a strong over long potential here, because if you, depending on weekly, we're not talking on what it's doing tomorrow, or we're not talking on what it's doing 2 days later, or we're not talking about what it's doing even 4 days later. We're talking about what it's going to be 1 week, next week, and so on. So based on the candle says, if the Fed so is coming up and the downside, and as you can see here, it was selling for 2 days. And if we go back here into lower time frames, you can notice that, yeah, it was selling quite a lot. So based on the weekly, since weekly was up and coming into a K testing D, which is momentum, like I said, K testing D. K follows price action. D is usually support, is usually BWAP in the momentum. So what I'm saying is, just like the crypto, when I called out crypto earlier, and I mentioned crypto has the potential to bounce because the monthly festival, which was K on D, was testing. So I knew that if it wanted to bounce, it should have bounced price, because K was supposed to bounce on D, so that's exactly what crypto did. And if you look at crypto now, it went from 16,400 to 18,400. I mean, yeah, 18,400 as in now, and that's only 2 days, which we're talking about $2,000 as profit, and we're talking about 40 cents in ETC. We're talking about $80 in ETH, and many tickers at the bottom. Even this XRP, I think it is, that one went from 40 cents to 60 something cents. So we're talking about 20 cents profit if you would have been accumulating crypto. But that's just it's another story, it's another perspective. But crypto also does respect the market here and there. So what I'm saying, if crypto is doing good, future also respects the market a lot. So I'm not saying that it's 100%. It's usually about 90, 85% that the future it does predict the market condition, meaning that the future, which is a Sunday, is Sunday trading, and he's doing real good, is usually follow market's condition. But overall, what I'm saying is, as I'm showing you here, market condition is weekly being bullish, and that is the FETSO going up. Even if the price action, like I said, price action is going to follow the Fed. So sometimes you're gonna, find this selling days. You can have these selling days here, and that's gonna make people, panic, thinking that it's gonna probably reverse. But guess what? If you're not reading this FEDSO, even RSI never came to a downside. FEDSO did. This is what indication me that buyers are strong at the higher low, and they're also strong at the support area, and they're looking for a longer point, like you're looking for a weekly. Meaning, what I'm saying about buyers, I'm not talking about new buyers coming in. I'm talking about the same buyers coming in. If a buyer, is going in a long-term perspective, like us, right? Whenever we dip in CBAT, we would dip in ACV, we would dip in SNDL, we were dipping because it was basing the momentum that was bouncing in this K on D. It gives us the opportunity for us to kind of make the profit for pretty much a potential bounce for the price to bounce back up. So what I'm saying is, CVAT, I'm going to CVAT real quick, and I'm going to show you an example of CVAT on its monthly. CVAT now. As you can see, zigzagging up. This was a price run of, and I want you to check it here. Sorry. This was on June 30. Okay, June 30. It ran a price of 375. I'm sorry. And then it came down from that 498. That's the price that the potential ran. 398 as total, somewhere around there. And it came, as you can see here, I'm gonna show you here the bounce. And you're gonna tell that it came all the way to a low of 203 from the 298, saying that it ran 298 and it came to a dip of 203 to do what? To go up again. And guess where it's sitting now? At $11. So what I'm saying is, long term, many people believe that if you're back holding something, it doesn't become a back hold for the reason being that I'm gonna break it down to you. The trading, when it comes to trading, you have different kind of tradings. You have let me see if there's people who are literally that I forgot to join. People gotta let me know in the okay. Yep, there I made it all. I'm sorry, guys. This will be in the. I was so into it. Okay, so overall momentum. Overall momentum here. What we're trying to show you is that sometimes dips long terms, it's just how you trading. Are you day trading? Are you intraday trading? Are you swing trading? Or are you trading the news? Are you trading the reaction of a certain specific thing? So what I'm saying is I gave you about 7 specifically types of trades. And you have to know what kind of trader you're doing. So for example, if you're trading news, oh yeah, I'm sorry about that, brother. For some reason, I got into it since I have 4 screens and I put the admit all in the side one, and I have the front one in front of me, and I wasn't seeing the right the I mean, yeah, the right screen. But you should be able to rewatch this part if you missed it. So that's what is good about recording. So overall, let's just say about CVAT. Like I was saying, it was sitting 203, 330, and then he started pushing up. Momentum is doing the same thing. And guess what it's doing now? It's consolidated. I mean, consolidated 9, it pushed 9. But so what I'm saying is it can probably consolidate more. But overall, this ticker has been doing amazing of growing in the long term. And what I mean by growing is you have so many opportunities here. If you would, you got one. Look at these beautiful resets. You got one, you got two, you got three, you got four, and it goes gaboom, and you got one, and it goes gaboom, and then you got another one, and it goes the same thing. I even alerted this one at 7:05. I was like, hey, I'm going long for this one because I know it's going to run 9. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes just know that the companies or whoever runs these companies, they're pretty smart. If they too will release a news at the right time, think about it. If they were to run a news right at the right time, don't you think that if the momentum has the room to run that news, why wouldn't they release that news at the right time to run a good profit run, right? To make it show that there's volume, or probably even run a nice pop. So what I'm saying is, look how obvious this was. This news was released at a reset, and guess what the news does? It just goes and pops a 9. And that, remember how whenever there was a news of I believe that it was of an offering. I can't remember the time it was, but I know it was trading around 7:30. So it was trading around this, but it was on a reset. So think about it. An offer on a reset, he had no potential to go down because there was many people dipping already this year. There was many people already in the dip. So why would this thing run down an offering of news hype if they didn't have no room to go up? Instead, they released another news that made the momentum go up. So reaction based on the news is important because many people get stuck in the potential that there is a good news. It is, is gonna do what it's gonna do because it's good news. You think it's gonna run, and there are many times that it does not happen that way. It actually goes the opposite. So what I'm saying is you have to use momentum at any type of potential here. Even if you're trying to attack a news potential, you have to read momentum to make sure that the news can be run based on that momentum. And if you look at the momentum here, look at this momentum. It's just, I mean, it's kind of crazy and insane how smooth this is. And this is, that's the best way that you can probably see that it resets, it goes up, it resets, it goes up. Sometimes you can even scalp this. This is 4 hours. So what I'm saying is 262 into a heat run. That would have been a nice 424 from $2, guys. That's insane profit. That's over $1.50 just on a 4 hours. And when you average dip, the reason we average, this is another something I want to go over as well. Let me try to mute someone because I can hear someone's. Okay. All right. So what I'm saying is sometimes it's just based on what you're trading. If you want to make money based on swings, anytime, brother. If you want to make money based on swings, this is something I went over a member today. And what I'm saying is you have to understand how you're using. And I want to break something down. Weekly, let me say something. If weekly is zigzagging up, that is usually 4 hours resetting, going down, going up, going down. So what I'm gonna show you something here is I'm gonna show you this zigzag. I'm also gonna show you this one, and I'm also gonna show you this one, which is a higher low, and I'm gonna show you this one before the pop. Remember how this was a nice consolidation that I keep telling everyone, just wait on it, it's going to pop, wait on it, it's going to pop. Guess who wrote pretty much all this? We did. We were on this before anything. Like we were on this on the three in the 380 under the $3. We were over the $3, but I was expecting to run this level of $6. The reason why, because if you go to monthly, monthly was bullish. And whenever it was doing that, I'm sorry, I think I moved around. Let's go to weekly here. Let me show you weekly. You see weekly here? You can see here, this is one zigzag. This is another. And then this is a third zigzag. That's the line that I kind of moved earlier. So let me go to 4 hours and I'm going to show you here. And I'm going to put the extra line that I moved not long ago. Which around? I think it was here. Yep, it was that one. Okay. So I go to weekly. And as you can see, that line that I just added, that was the line of who? That was the weekly reset on 4 hours with the potential for that weekly to potentially have a reaction of a higher pop. Now, the reason I knew that this weekly could recover was is because if you go to monthly, monthly was on that potential of a zigzag. You go one here, you can see here this was whenever you ran 92 to 63. So this was before we even found out about ZBAT. This zigzag here, that's the one that we did. That's the one that we dip, and that's the one that we concentrated, that we wanted some more. So what I'm saying is, overall, this K coming into D, that's a consolidation of price, meaning that if price consolidates for good times while providing many resets, and not just on the 4 hours, and if you go into this potential here, the 4 hours of many resets, we go to daily. Look at daily here. You got a full reset. We're going to take out these two lines here. If you wanted to concentrate to attack this reset here, that would have put you in profit in the 270 and between 330 205 into the insane push of the reset of daily. Why? Because if you go to weekly, these lines was the balance of who? Of weekly, right? And let me go to monthly. Monthly, if you look at it, this was K coming into D. And like I said, people are smart into this. I want you to understand that momentum can be used as dipping opportunities. Like just like I did crypto and just like I did this. If K comes to D, know that that could be a dip opportunity for you, for the being that you're not even depending on the price action. You're depending on the FETSO itself. And you're not depending on RSI, because what the RSI is going to give you, he's not going to give you another line to depend on that is going to bounce off, right? It's just showing that there's room to go up into a higher chance. Even the AMC is not going to give you anything, because look at the AMC. The AMC is just gliding out of nowhere. It just pops. How are you going to predict this whole movement here to randomly pop? That is no way of predicting that. So what I'm saying is the only way for you to predict is the volume and the FETSO. The FETSO is a key to understand how price moves, and not just price, but how price should respect where buyers should be at and where people should be taking profit. So what ends happening is, I'm sorry, the monthly is still bullish here, and he hasn't even run hit yet, and it's been trading around the $8 area and the $9 area. So what I'm saying is this thing is showing. Let me kind of read someone here. So this thing is showing that it has the potential to kind of push some more heat. So longer term potential is actually into this ticker. It might take a little bit while, but if you think about it, sometimes you over trading things can probably put your account into a low. When overall, if you're smart enough, if you're willing to put a nice certain percent into this ticker to just let it run, then you're gonna run into this profit insanely, where you're gonna be like, oh, okay, this long term was pretty good to me, and it paid me off. And once this monthly done, you don't want to ride a monthly down, so you're gonna, probably take profit based on the action that's happening. And what I'm saying, action that's happening is also in the candles. You have to consider candles as well because you have to know where monthly is at, previous highs, because previous highs are usually where heat are run up to. So what I'm saying is if there's volume and you have a previous high, momentum is running heat, it usually wants to run the previous high. So your ticker, becomes a profit take into the higher high because that's where heat runs up. So that's where you could potentially be running into profit. So overall, like this side, if I were to clear up this area, let me clear up the chart for you. Where's the chart, Larry? Put it here. You're gonna see here we have one a higher high of what? 1185. And guess who ran at 1185? T-Bat did. So guess what the next higher high is? It is $29. There is nothing stopping this other than the support of 14. But even 14 is sitting at $8 right now. So what I'm saying is, even at 14, that's still a good level, saying that it can still run at 11, even a higher level than $11. So you can run even to $13, $14. So now, once you run to the $13, you're gonna have to pay attention to the momentum. If momentum is in heat, you're gonna want to take profit into that $13 and let it come back down into D, consolidate probably, and then you dip again. Now, if price runs up into that let's say $14, but momentum still stays the same where it's at right now, then that's a good chance that there's still room in momentum to pretty much run up what price? The next higher high of $27. But we're not looking for $27. Knowing that momentum is pretty much close to heat, you're gonna at least want to run a $20 potential test because you can see it's been tested once and it's been tested again in the $20 area. So overall, your profit take at least should be in the between the 14 into the $18 based on the momentum. And then, you let it probably reset a quite a while, you come back. Or if you're going longer term, then you wait longer terms because then you will want to go what? Into a higher potential. And if you look into what? A higher potential, you can see the quarterly, it's super bullish as well. Bullish meaning that quarterly is every what? 3 months? 3 months of the year. So 3 months of the year, and it's actually testing a higher high of, he hasn't even tested the higher of $13, and he has still room of what higher high, like I was mentioning earlier, $27. So overall, 20, $18. That could be a nice profit take into this ticker based on the momentum because momentum still has room. If we go up into the RSI hasn't run heat yet, so he still has room. AMC is in an uptrend, so that's in your favor. It has room. So what I'm saying is overall, you have to be able to understand what you're trading. This is just intraday, and what I'm explaining to you now, it's what I will kind of consider a long-term ticker. But it's not just this ticker. I'm gonna show you also Tesla. Tesla is a high cap, and there's, like I say, I can go over and over so many tickers in this market, and I will never end how many tickers I can give you for potential long-term tickers. So overall, it's based how you're trading this ticker. So even Tesla, every 3 months, for example, uptrending, even before the split, the ticker stayed in the print of an uptrend. Guess who's uptrending? Every 2 months, it's the FETSO. Let me go to monthly here. Monthly FETSO, it's uptrending. It's done in zigzags and it's done this little, up crowns, but overall, it has the intention of a zigzag uptrend. Who got the smoother momentum? Weekly does. Weekly recovers a bit here, and I'm going to show you. Weekly recovers a bit here. Guess what? The next momentum, now that the weekly is potentially pushing up in a FETSO, it is showing you that now he has the potential to push what? That 511 when he first dipped and he first pushed 500 again. So the next candle would have mean that the next week could have mean a higher high. It common sense, right? Even if you wanted, like, because you can see here, he ran 512, and guess what it did for 2 days? He came back down and to 296. Let me show you something here. 4 hours. I'm gonna show you. No, that wasn't even 4 hours, I think. Let me see. This is when it ran. Nope, that was 30 minutes. Yep, 30 minutes. Okay, this is when it ran. Actually, no, that's when it ran the first pop. This is, yep, that's the first pop. First pop comes down to a 30 minutes reset. Pretty much knowing that a 30 minutes coming into Tesla, You could have gone into calls. What I'm saying is, this is the potential to go into calls either next day or next 2 days, based on an uptrend of a higher time frames. Sometimes you'll have a higher time uptrend. That indication that lower time frames become opportunities. It doesn't have to be for any type of ticker. Let's say the FETSO helps you in any ticker you have the mind into. I can even trade if I were to go back here into this one, and then I click on even on this one, the Jones. I think it will give it to me. No, it's not giving it to me. Okay. Is it? Okay, there it goes. Okay. Even for this ticker, that's 29,000. I'm telling you, man. It's crazy how momentum works. It's readable to any type of ticker. And this is the market, the overall market. This is what the whole United States, New York market is doing. Think about it. It becomes a dip, a strong candle of volume, resets, and guess what happens? Goes uptrend. And then it dips again. Guess what weekly does? Resets into this price of 26, recovers, and it becomes bullish. Let me show you something. You see this pattern here? This is the DJI. This is McDonald's, Home Depot, Walmart, everything combined. And what I mean by that is this is the top companies, and they all combine into one price that totals $30,000. If whoever's dropping, or if the whole market is dropping, is going to affect this price. If the market is bullish, overall market is bullish, it's going to be an upwards bullish pattern. So what I'm saying is, I want you to pay attention to this pattern right here in the FETSO. Guess who has that same pattern that we usually use to depend on marketing? SPI does. Think about it. Look at how the same pattern is right here. You know what I'm saying? That's the FETSO. Look at the RSI. It's sitting on the air. And, let's go back on this one. Let's see how our RSI was sitting on this. See, the same pattern, sitting on the air. But the price, remember how I was saying, price action follows Fed. So if price comes down to support, why are you not going to dip that support? Because it's touching the previous support. It's done it before. It's done it before again. And let me show you this one. Look at this one. Look at this one. He's done it many times. And this is just you basing the predictions of before. You see how it's just, repeatable pattern. So why not dip opportunity here into some calls, or, just knowing that the market is going to be bullish. And then if the market is bullish, many tickers will be bullish. And many tickers are bullish. It benefits you to go, go long some ticker that follows this, because it's not just AT&T, it's not just AMD, it's not just specifically tickers. Actually, lower time frame ticker like HIYH. Let me show you HYH real quick. This is something that I'm going long based because, this is like I was mentioning to another member earlier, was this is produces. It gives, it actually helps hospitals with like supplies. So overall, think about it. This is a monthly reverse. This is already reversing. It's already showing a long-term potential. At least it can easily run $15 and run $20 based on who? Look at this monthly bullish. But what it's doing, zigzagging up, meaning that there's days or there's weeks that it's selling, and there's weeks that it's pushing. But if it's pushing a higher high, because guess what it's doing? It's pushing higher highs, as the monthly shows. So if we go back to the weekly, you can kind of see that it's uptrending, and overall it's uptrend bullish. Now let me show you into a lower time frame. You see what the monthly here doing? This is something I want you guys to understand. Sometimes the price, which is candles, is not going to move or just going to stay in the same price. And that is key. And it's key because if you think about it, the FED is always going to move. It's going to downtrend or uptrend. Or it's going to say sideways. It's going to make you a little unconfident until it resets. But if it's resetting downtrend like this and price action is not moving, that is important to you because it's showing that it's holding a higher low. If price action does not move, FED does move and comes to a reset, what it's doing is pretty much holding a higher low for what the next wants to do. is to do a correction and run a higher high. So what I'm saying is overall this ticker being strong as it is, and I'm going to show you two tickers as an example. This is one. You see this? This is a reset. Guess what this ticker did? It came from $14 in one reset all the way to 30 bucks. This is just one. GME, it's another one that we're going long. And think about it. A reset here of $10 made it run up all the way, what, 16 bucks. And that's just one reset with the potential that is showing that is going to continue in an uptrend. So overall, what I'm saying here is CYH is one, which is resetting, right? And it's reset if it's resetting here into a higher low. And if you can notice here, monthly is bullish, quarterly, bullish, weekly, it's doing this little, it kind of does this little thing, and it does all this little crossing back and forth. But the reason he's doing this crossing back and forth is that if I were to put this line, this is what the kitty is at, and I'm gonna show you why this weekly recovered midway the way it did, and I'm gonna make it's gonna make a lot of sense when I put this line in. We're gonna put it right. Oh, whoa! All my lines came back. Okay. We're gonna put the lines back on. Okay, cool. We're gonna put if there's one line, yep, one yellow line here, and we're gonna turn that into a red. Let's do a white because they're all yellow. And we're gonna take this one out. Let's take this one's out here. I think I'm gonna be able to. Okay, we're gonna turn this one into a different color. Let's put it into a light red. So light red. Let me show you why this one bounced off where it did. If you go to monthly, let me show you monthly. You see where monthly is at? It came down, K, testing, D. Guess what weekly did? It just pretty much recovered. And that's what it did. It recovered and it bounced. So let me go back to daily. Daily, it reset it. If I were to just change, because sometimes, you have to understand that if you switch in time frames, your lines are gonna, you're not gonna really predict the exactly line. Because if I were to put it here on this reset of daily, and I go back to monthly, you're gonna see that it's still sitting on the reset of the monthly, right? It's sitting on the reset that K tested D, and that was equally me showing me that daily was resetting. So sometimes, like I said, you have to be able to watch a specific time frame, because if you looking at the momentum on monthly is going up and zigzagging, then daily has the potential to reset his reset. And like I said, monthly is daily resetting, running heat if monthly zigzagging up in an uptrend of Fetzel. Weekly, it is if weekly is uptrending in a zigzag potential, that will mean that 4 hours resetting, running heat. So you find the dips into 4 hours. If daily it's uptrending in the Fetzel, then you find that 30 minutes as resetting and running heat. So you use 30 minutes on the dips of resets and you take profit into the heat, or you hold and you redip on the higher low of another reset in the 30 minutes. So what I'm saying is, based on what time frame you're using, that's what you're gonna have to respect. Not all time frames act the same. Different time frames based on different perspective. If we're basing a 4 hours uptrend, we're basing a 15-30 minutes uptrend, then that's whenever I'm usually telling you guys, since we're dipping on the 15 and 30 minutes dips and average dips, that's whenever you have to be jumping into the 1 minute, 5 minutes average dips. So it's common sense kind of how you will have to use a higher time frame to dips, lower time frames. So what I'm saying is, this is just one example. CVAT was another example. Let me show you if I can find another one that could potentially pop soon, and that is let me show you one guy that should be popping soon, and that's AIYH. This one's an asserting alert that was alerted not long ago. But if you think about it, the way this ticker is pretty much setting up, it's already setting up in an uptrend, and it wants to pretty much run at this 235. I'm sorry. At the moment, it's sitting in a 148. If you wanted to go long, this usually means that you will have to potentially either catch the K testing D, or you will have to catch 30 minutes reset and so on to catch dips. Overall, this ticker is holding that weekly gain, that weekly candle pretty solid, because even though, think about it, before it has done it to where it hasn't even hold any gain, it is still running up an uptrend. but not holding not holding any gain. Guess what weekly did? That's whenever weekly pushed this uptrend here, and then weekly sliding into the selling, and that's what's respecting. Buyers came in heavier, and guess what it did? K respected D, and it's up pushing an uptrend some more. So overall, if I were to show you here, let me show you 4 hours. Look what 4 hours is doing. It is pretty much holding 226. 126 is a higher low, so it's holding 141, 146. That's a higher low. And if we move into 30 minutes, you're gonna notice that he's doing resets at higher lows. So potentially this thing should be setting up to an uptrend soon, based on this weekly, and not just the weekly. We're talking about monthly, and based on the monthly, it should, and then on the buyers, how strong the buyers is, we should be able to run at least $2 again. And that's just based on the momentum. So that's just how you can predict using high time frames and lower time frames to predict the market, but not just the market, overall tickers that should be pushing in your favor when the dips becomes opportunities for you to average or buy and resell, so you can accumulate profit. It's just many ways of you how you want to trade. If you have the patience that you think you can want to hold the whole up and downs, then you hold the whole up and downs. But if you think you can accumulate on the upside, then you can settle until you hit of 30 minutes and then dip on 30 minutes resets. And repeat your accumulations until a major pops probably, put you into nice profit. So overall, the market is gonna be, the Feds is gonna be keys to understanding how the market really works. So anyone who has any questions, can you please type it on BAP, because uh yeah, I think we're actually praying really quick on this. It's okay, brother. We're good. So any questions, just know that you can always ask me in the BAP. This was recorded and I will be posting on YouTube. I just wanted to go over the market and want to kind of show new members, and probably a nice little reminder to our members that are here now. So overall, just know that what we're attacking now is CD, CNGL, and not CNDL, and ACV. Recent CNDL, think about it. CNDL, look at the weekly here. Weekly, it not even run heat yet. It hasn't run heat yet, and it's under the higher high of 164. So, so what I'm saying is this thing can still run 40, 50, and 60, and still not run $1. But to us, 60, it's a lot of money when he runs 60, and then and it's sitting at 37 something now. So what I'm saying, based on this weekly, it's good to catch the selling days, and it's good to either just catch the selling day, dip, and just ride until weekly, wants to kind of does the little glide into a downtrend potential. But overall, team, this is what I want to go over. Any questions, please just ask me now, because I will be closing the share. The sharing screen in the next 2 minutes. Just know that we have a lot going on with the FEDSO and the price action and all that, and not everything can be covered in in a less time. It takes a lot of time to understand the market, but I will try to explain little by little as every Sunday as I go. I will be posting other content as well soon enough, where I'm gonna be posting every 2 days. I should be posting week swings, or even option plays, or even long-term positions where high caps, for example, where they should be probably running $10, $15 in the next month or so. And if you're looking long term, then that'll be good for those people that can probably be on them in the chat all the time. But you can be able to monitor when you get off of work, or you'll be able to monitor at the throughout the day how he's doing, and not worried if a day is selling off. You'll be able to to stay calm, that knowing that momentum is still uptrending, and you don't have to worry about a selling day. You don't have to panic about that. It's good to understand those days, because if you understand those days, your emotions, it relaxes you, like especially on green days, and you're done with the green days, your emotions are being just that relief that you're down, you made money. It feels good. And it also feels good knowing that even if it's selling off, you'll be okay, because if you hold a price for the end of day and then momentum is still bullish, you shouldn't even be worried that it should be coming back, something like that. How the at least the Fed kind of works. But all right, team. I guess this is gonna be it. No more questions, and I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. Just know that crypto follows a lot of tickers, and so far my main attention is gonna be. I mean, my main attention. The market is already looking to be bullish, so give it time, or potentially should be squeezing soon. But overall, my attention is into cannabis, which is CNGO, ACV. Those are two major ones that have a solid, strong volume. They got a strong volume. And then we have crypto, which is Mara, and then you have Riot, which is the both of them that are also concentrate, which is strong volume. And then I try to concentrate in strong volume because if you concentrate there, it makes it obvious on resets of high time frames. It makes it more clear picture when volume gives you a nice reset, because if there's volume, resets in Fetso become smoother. If there's no volume, and then what I'm talking about, like if there's no volume and price just goes up and down, just random pops, guess what the Fed is doing? It's following the price action. So what he means that it is following the volume, which is gonna be crossing over and so on and so on. It's gonna become messy. So the more volume the ticker has, the smoother the momentum will be, as you can see here, uptrending nicely, downtrending nicely. So even on this one, price was pushed up, respecting D, and then price will go back down. And just because it's zigzagging on the D, it could be that in the lower time frame, which it could be 4 hours. What time frame are we on? Weekly. That could mean in the 4 hours or the 30 minutes is resetting and he's running heat. So this could be a reset, running heat, a reset, running heat. And guess what? It also means to your pocket: a dip, exit, dip, exit, dip, exit. That is also, the indication why the Fed is important. And that is something that the RSI, the AMC is not going to give you, is the precise profit and the precise entry if you were to practice this potential of the FETSO. The FETSO is a strong key to get better, and not just get better, like if you dedicate a lot of strong time into it, I mean, give it a few, like 1 year or two, and you are going to master the market pretty strong. Because I'm telling you, that thing, many people just trade 5 years and just IMC RSI. And even if you ask them, hey, how long you be trading, this and that, and then you ask them what's going on, they're gonna feel a little confusing if you come in with the Fedso and you tell them this and this and that, and you're right, and he's wrong, but he thought that he was right, and then you're like, okay, what the Fedso, what the heck is the Fedso? So know that the Fedso, not everyone, many, because every time who comes in into our chat, they rarely know what the Fedso is. So if you were to master the Fedso, I'm talking about that thing, how useful it is to determine trades. It's pretty insane. I'm talking about and it's so useful that sometimes I don't even look at the price action. I'm just looking at the Fetso when K is coming down to D, and I'm like, oh, there goes my dip potential. Boom. You get what I'm saying? I'm not even looking at the price action. Sometimes I'm looking at the price action, but if I'm want to be ahead, like I'm looking at the support and I see Fetso coming down. So I'm like, okay, price action should bounce at least there or up top of there. So that's whenever I should be, I'll be using supports. But if I'm watching the ticker, they just know that I'm watching the Fed. So when K is touching D, or when the 1 minute resetting, buyers are coming in, or when 5 minutes resetting, and just different kind of factors. So what I'm saying is, use the Fed to determine many trades, and you'll be able to improve your trading and predictions as you go with the trades. And then always, my best advice is never feel afraid to take a trade. Even if you buy just one share, just buy that share, let's see what it does, and you sell it. So what I'm saying is, always try to find ways to trade. Even if you have to paper trade, practice your trading. Never think that there's never an opportunity to trade, because there's always one opportunity to trade. There's just so many trades out there, and it's never an overtrade. It's just how disciplined and where that you should be at, or what ticker you should be attacking. If you have that mindset, you have that experience, you should be able to avoid what's going to make you lose money, and you should be able to be attacking what's going to be making you money. So overall, like I said, experience comes a long way, and that is earned with time. And that is any type of career or any type of job you're taking on. Just know that experience and trying and retrying, it's what gets you better at something. So if you don't practice and you're afraid to practice something, you're always gonna be stuck to being afraid of not doing what you're supposed to, do to get better at something. So overall, team, like I said, I was trying to, even if you have to paper trade or something, just trade if you don't want to share your real account and practice trading. So overall, I always try to mentally read the FETSO momentum, price action, candles, trends, uptrends, price action moves. There's just so much things going on. And then me trying to explain you everything in under 1 hour is just not going to work. But just it takes a lot of you trying to practice getting how the market works. And if you can find the market, and sometimes even the same ticker is going to pretty much fill your pockets nicely. It doesn't have to be the whole. There's 5,000 something, 6,000. I mean 6,000 tickers in the market, but only one ticker can end up, profiting, giving you good profit if you're able to read the potential and if it has volumes, like, nice price action, for example, price range. And 4 hours reset could be, 1 hour, I mean, $1 of profit. That's a nice dollar of profit instead of you attacking someone else who just randomly popping on news. See if it could end up giving you the same $1 profit just based on momentum, meaning that if you're attacking the news to earn $1, you can end up getting stuck into that thing and not never getting the dollar. While CBAC could be giving you that $1 opportunity, probably not give it to you today, and give you a deep opportunity for some more and give you the dollar next day. But if a news pops and goes down and downtrends, yeah, don't expect that ticket to give you that money back the next day. But with CBAC and the momentum, it has the potential to give you that money the next day. So that's the difference here in the news, momentum, and many different kind of factors. So, all right, team. So I guess for now, this is gonna be it. And any questions, please type it down in BAP chat, and I'll be posting this in the next 2 days to anyone who wasn't here or anyone who came in late. So don't worry about it. You'll be able to see it then. Anyone, so wish you anyone good luck tomorrow, and don't forget about the crypto. We got crypto going on. BTC, all of them are popping this weekend. They should be popping early in the market. And if they don't, then they should be popping into market opens because that's when the volume should be coming in, and that's when they, if crypto is pushing, uptrend or whatever it's doing, it should follow market opens. But then, any other ticker like uptrending, always make sure that you take your daily, weekly momentum so you can have a nice potential idea that it should either uptrend for the day or, probably sell off for the day. But you should be having to keep it in mind to keep it in your watch list so you can end of day become a dip opportunity for your next day reverse. So just know that there's many ways, like I said, to trading, but overall it's all based how you attacking the ticker and how experienced you are to avoid having a bad trade and to potentially make profit in a good trade. It's all how you break it down. So all right, team, well, any questions, always make sure you be a Trade Chat, and I wish you guys a good night. And yeah, because I'll be going to sleep early. Peace, team.